And these are very bold statements, I know. I'm aware that these are very bold statements. But when you think about it, I think it makes a lot of sense. It makes so much sense. And not only does it make a lot of sense, but I've healed the relationship, I've been healing the relationship with myself. And I have seen how my relationship with God and the universe has improved. Not that it was never there, but it's just so much more present in my life right now. And that's how I've experienced, not only on a knowledge-based level, but I've experienced the magic of it, of how powerful this actually is. In this episode, I'm going to talk about abundance blocks, and one of the number one blocks, or one of the blocks that I've experienced throughout my spiritual awakening journey, throughout my life. And this was such a big aha moment for me, and I know for sure that if you are an empath, if you are a light worker, if you identify yourself as somebody who is very sensitive to your environment, you're highly sensitive, and you struggle with receiving, or you feel like you give a lot and you don't always feel like you get the same amount of energy back into your life, then this episode truly is for you. If that's something that you love to learn more about, then stay around.
How does it feel to be alive, to be free? Are we truly in the here and now, or are we living a dream that we created? Close your eyes to see clearly. This is life on purpose.
Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of On Purpose by Lynn. For those of you who are new here, welcome. My name is Lynn and I share with you everything you need to know about personal development and spirituality so that you can create your best life and so that you can rise to your fullest potential. If that's something that you're interested in, then make sure to subscribe. So in this episode, I'm going to talk about something that, I think is something that we probably receive as something bad. We perceive it as something bad, and I want to kind of change that stigma around it, and I'm going to say what it is. It is people pleasing. If you were a people pleaser, then you probably already know about yourself that you're doing that, and that you're aware of, like you want to stop doing that, but you don't really know how to stop doing that. And so I want to kind of break the stigma around people pleasing, and that's a bad thing, because it's not. It's not a bad thing. It's just something that we can be aware of, and there's no shame around doing that, because I believe that there is so much that we say that we shouldn't do, and we know that we shouldn't do it, but then it's part of our subconscious programming, so we cannot help ourselves but to do it, and we don't know how to change it. So in this episode, I'm just going to share some really simple tools with you of how you can slowly, gently help yourself to get into a different vibration, to not necessarily stop giving to other people, because maybe that's just natural to you, but how you can receive that energy back into your life with doing this daily. And this has 100% to do with receiving abundance in your life. Like, without a doubt, people pleasing is one of the blocks. I'm saying blocks because it's just a fact. It's just something that we can become aware of, and once we become aware of it, we can change it. So it doesn't have to be a block. And okay, before I'm going to dive into exactly how all of that kind of shifts together, one thing that I've learned over the course of the last few months, I've been working with a coach, and one thing that she's told me, and I deeply resonate with, like deeply resonate with, and okay, can you are you curious what it is? It is that everything is relationships. And when I thought about money, I was thinking, like, how does my relationship with money have anything to do with receiving abundance? And of course, like in my mind, there's like people talk about the relationship with money. What kind of relationship do you have with money and how it kind of affects you? And they would always use the same kind of quotes or like things that people say when we're growing up, or the societal conditioning, like money doesn't grow in trees, or money is the root of all evil. And I never really could relate. I'm like, yeah, I know that that's a saying, but I cannot relate to the fact that this has been my conditioning, just because I come from a different cultural background. Like my native language is not English, if you all haven't already heard. And so building that relationship with money, or understanding that relationship with money, I hear a lot of people talking about it on YouTube, on social media, and they were always kind of using examples that I never really could relate to. And so one of the exercises that I did with my coach was, she asked me to write down how I felt about money if money was a person. And so I did. I told money, like, this is how you make me feel, and you know, all the emotions that went along with it. And this is kind of where it clicked for me. It's like, if everything in our life is relationships, like relationship with self equals the relationship with the universe and everything around us. So if you can see money as a persona, as an identity, as someone else, quite literally, if money was a loving relationship, how did money make you feel in the past? What is the emotional relationship that you have with money? And with that simple mindset shift, it kind of opened up a whole new level of understanding of relationships, because we were personifying an objective, something that's basically not alive. Even though money is energy, it's not like us humans, it's not like an animal, it's not really like alive. And so that was interesting. And then when I basically wrote down everything that I felt about money, so I really felt it like a relationship, she asked me, if you were that person, how would you feel about you? And this is not to like shame you in like, oh, maybe you've had some really bad feelings about money and you were angry at money, or you felt abandoned, or it can be a lot of different things, right? But it's more for you to understand. It's like, hey, if we turn this relationship around, if I were money, what would I do? How would I feel about me? And then maybe you can understand why this flow of money hasn't been fully flowing into your life. And this is not where this ends, okay? Because this is just to give you kind of an overview or an understanding on a deeper level. Maybe let me know in the comments if this kind of clicked for you as it did for me. Because it was such a subtle shift in the way that you look at it that kind of changed everything in how I looked at it, and really understood that relationships in life is everything. So in order to heal ourselves, or in order to heal our relationship with money, we have to heal the emotions that we have around it. So if money was a person, if everything is relationships, it means that we have to not only look at the relationship that we have with money, we look at the relationship that we have with ourselves. Because if we feel that we don't deserve certain things, then why would the universe feel that we deserve certain things? Our relationship with ourselves is the same as the relationship we have with money and the relationship that we have with God or the universe. And these are very bold statements, I know. I'm aware that these are very bold statements. But when you think about it, I think it makes a lot of sense. It makes so much sense. And not only does it make a lot of sense, but I've healed the relationship, I've been healing the relationship with myself. And I have seen how my relationship with God and the universe has improved. Not that it was never there, but it's just so much more present in my life right now. And that's how I've experienced, not only on a knowledge-based level, but I've experienced the magic of it, of how powerful this actually is. And so if we feel unworthy, if we say, and now we're tying it back into people pleasing, if we say to the universe, okay, I'm this giving, loving person because I know that's what a good human does. You know, I just give to others, which is great. I think it's a great characteristic if you're a generous person. But, and I'm saying but, if we don't know how to actually receive, we start giving more of ourselves than we can actually give. And that's when we feel empty, burned out. We feel like we're left with nothing. We feel drained. Maybe we start to feel depressed or anxiety and we don't know why that is. It's because we've been giving all of us, right? We're not refilling ourselves with something else. And so if we are people pleasing, what are we actually signaling to the universe? And this is what my coach actually mirrored back to me, and I thought it was so genius. When we're signaling to the universe, hey, you know, it's okay for other people to be first. So let me just give to them, and them, and them, and then maybe later I'll think about myself. So if that's who you're being, if that's what your priorities are, and again, there's no shame in that. There's like only awareness. Like I've moved through this and I know, and I'm just sharing, that was a fly. And I'm just sharing it with you because I think it can be, it's super helpful. If we are being this, in this moment, and that's what we're signaling to the universe, and the universe is like, okay, I'm just gonna give to this person and that person and the other person, and you'll get last. If you are last on your list to yourself, guess what you're communicating with the universe? You're communicating with the universe, it's okay for me to be last at the list. And so how can we change this? What's a tangible way of breaking this pattern is to first becoming aware of it, which this whole episode is about. I really hope that you're resonating with this information, and let me know in the comments if you do. And then we can start creating change, an energetic shift through every day, asking ourselves before anything, what do I need? What do I need today? How am I feeling and what do I need? And giving something to yourself every single day that you need, even if it's something tiny, like getting comfortable on your sofa underneath a blanket, or taking a bath, or a warm hot shower, or meditating if you love that, or watching an episode of something that, you know, is not informative, it's just purely for the joy. Just listening to yourself, or drinking something that you really enjoy without feeling guilty, or eating something that you really enjoy without feeling guilty. Just giving back to yourself in the smallest of things. Start shifting your energy in receiving. Because when we start to ingrain this new habit and this new value, like, what do I need before I actually give out to the world, then we start to change our energy. We start communicating differently to the universe, and we're starting to open up to receive. And the universe delivers in very beautiful, miraculous ways when we start to open ourselves up. And so that is something that I really wanted to share with you guys for a very long time. I also want to say that I recently created an inner child healing episode. I believe it's called The Inner Child Open Gates of Blessings or something like that. And this has highly to do with everything that I'm sharing right now. So if you haven't already watched that videos, go check out that video, because that is also one of the biggest blocks that we can experience within receiving and opening ourselves up to abundance. So yeah, that's something that I would recommend. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Let me know in the comments where you guys are tuning in from, because I love to get to know you. I love to get to know who's watching. And if you have liked this video, please like this video, click that like button, and share this video with anyone who you think could benefit from this message right now. Maybe a loved one, maybe a family member, maybe someone you know that needs to hear something like this in this moment. And I recently started a brand new podcast which is called Returning Home with Lin Lim. You can find it in a link in the description below, or you can search directly on Apple Podcast or Spotify if you prefer to do so. And check out my Lightworker merchandise, which you can also find in a link in the description below. I'm very excited about how this has turned out. If you want to further support my journey and my channel, then purchasing some would really help me. I really appreciate you for checking it out if you want to. And I'm very convinced that if you're starting to wear that merchandise, you'll also spread a message of love, light, awakening, and positivity with the world who desperately needs it right now. And if you're new to my channel and haven't already subscribed yet, don't forget to do so, as you will be the first to watch all of my videos every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, so that you can create your best life. Remember, we have such an exciting future to look forward to, even if it doesn't seem like it right now. Thank you so much for being here, and I'm looking forward to see you in the next video. Bye for now.